I'm gonna go back. I got a couple of book sets. God, there was water! There was water on the table. Considering swapping another book for the witch comic. I'm a little bit upset and a lot disappointed. It's easy to make sense when nothing is happening. More work. I gave 3 for plot for the sheer lack of it. Hello, welcome to week 3 of the readathon. It is Tuesday? Tuesday? Almost 9 o'clock. So I'm just gonna sit down here and do a little bit of reading. To remind you, we're reading Raybearer. I'm on page 180 or something like that. And I'm just gonna crack on and hopefully we're gonna move forward. Hello, I've taken myself on a little walk. It's a bit chilly, but that's a welcome change. I am also in the fields, as you can see. It's actually getting dark, so I'm gonna go back very soon, so it wasn't a long walk. Desperately wishing for a scary dog privileges currently. I wanted to let you know that first of all, I am like 320 pages into Raybearer and I am loving it. I totally get the hype. It's really amazing. I stayed up until like 1 AM yesterday. I couldn't stop, and I actually can't wait to go back and read that as well. I also changed my TBR once again, but I didn't have an audiobook for when I was packing stuff and now for a walk, so I swapped the Bone prompt to Bone Chart Emperor, which is a sequel to the Bone Chart Daughter, and I am excited to be back. I'm really not far in because I just got that, but I'm excited. And also in the field, visiting a tower from Orilium, no big deal. That's where the Unhinged Wizard lives. Please don't have anything unhinged in there. I'm gonna go back. Not another ruin waiting for me though. It's fine. We're fine. Hi. So today has just not been my day. I'm very anxious for the first time in a long time. I was like, okay, you know, it's time to stop the wallow and I'm just gonna try and make through the day, turn it around. So I was like, oh, I was meaning to like film during my lunch break, and so I'm just gonna do that. I don't think that's gonna happen. I was just making some dumplings for lunch and I burned those, so now I'm just gonna eat that, feel a little bit more sorry for myself. I just don't think I can film. I don't think I can put up the mood that I want to portray in the in the video, which is really annoying because I was supposed to do another video on Thursday last week and that didn't happen, so I think I'm just feeling a bit of a failure. But yeah, it's just been really an anxious mess. It's such an odd day, so I think I'm just gonna do stuff and allow myself not to have to put up a face after work, because you obviously have to be nice to people at work and stuff. That's the update. I didn't show I have these days. Everything is just a no-go. Everything feels icky. Anyway, this is neither here or there. I will get back to you when I have something better to say. I do have some exciting stuff to share with you. I have a couple of deliveries that I got that would be fun to open with you. It was truly pouring just now, but I couldn't find my camera to film it properly. But look, the end of the rainbow, right there. That's nice. Nice. But guess what? I have some good news. Wait, actually, let me show you something super fucking crazy. Oh my god, that rainbow is so bright. But what's even brighter is this. It's not focusing. 1 book ahead of schedule. I don't think that has ever happened. Like ever. Ever. Very exciting. But let me show you a couple of things because as I said, I got a couple of things. Okay, so first off, I got a couple of book sets. So first of all, these Shatter Me ones. I actually have never read it and I'm kind of afraid of it. I don't have the best of luck with the early YAs. However, I know it would be a trip, you know? So I'm not sure. Let me know if I should venture in this, or should I just like admire from afar? Very, very shiny, so they're gonna be very difficult to show on camera because they're like that shiny. But I can show you these beautiful edges though. They are really cool underneath in my opinion. So they're signed, and then they have foil and this PLC underneath as well with a quote. And if you're not a fan of the original covers, because whilst iconic, they wear a little bit of a meme online as well. There are alternate covers on the other side, which are really cool. I'm tempted to like swap them, which actually would be a first time, I think. This is the middle one with the signature page, the PLC, which I just really like the naked hardcovers, to be honest. The foil as well. And this is the alternate cover. And lastly, the one that started it all, Shatter Me, again signed. The cover of this and the artwork. I do actually have a reading update, which I'm working my way to, okay? Patience, my friend. But I do have more things to show you. So let me interrupt the books. RedBubble stuff that arrived. First of all, we have the blanket. I can't remember what size I went for. I think maybe medium. But I went for the black and gold Mindwalkers one, I think. So it's like white fleecy on one side. And then, I love it, like this on the other. It's really cool. I really like it. It's super soft. It's not thick. Then if you have any of like book box ones, it's literally exactly like that. Like the softness and everything. So we have that for Mindwalkers. But then obviously I needed more stuff. So I got 3 tote bags, guys. To be honest, we do use them a lot. But did I need 3? Absolutely not. But I really wanted them. So it's basically also colors for all occasions. I got in a grey one with the Mindwalkers symbol, and it's like black inside. The next one is a black one but with Orilium instead. The last one is lilac-y with that university type of emblem. And you know what? I'm just living my best life. However, there was one item that I didn't love how it turned out. That was the zipper pouch. It looks okay, but this is way bluer than my file was. So just if you're ordering, I'm letting you know as well that it might turn out a little bit more saturated than the file. Like the file, the blue is much, much darker than this. The pouch itself is fine, but it's quite in your face, which is not really my style, as you guys will know. But overall, very giddy about it. I'm really trying not to get any more things, but I also kind of want to. I mean, it is my baby, you know. So I think it's understandable. We're just gonna change all the furniture into some sort of Orilium furniture and live our best life. But now that I've shown you, I can actually finally use it. Nice. Okay, and then another set is still in a box, so I still need to open it with you. It's the Scythe set. I really loved the second book. The first one was okay. The second one is where things really got so good. It was a 5-star read. I remember I stayed up listening to an audiobook because I was visiting my parents, and I was like just laying there in the middle of the night and like not able to put it away. And then the third one, I think I only read a tiny bit before I gave up. I should give it another go though, because of how much I love the second one. But this series was just overall such a roller coaster. But I only had the paperback, so I'm very excited to replace them with these. Oh my god, there was water! There was water on the table. It's fine though. So this is how the books look like. They have fawnsley edges. I really like when spines line up to do something. It's really cool, I think. Look really cool and make an image under the dust jacket. I'll show you a little bit. This is what the design is on the forced one. And the end papers. Look at them. They're so cool. Obviously, Citra and Rowan on that one. And the pages are also really cool. And they're signed. And also we have a reversible dust jacket. Middle book. No, that's the last one. Fucked up the order again. Middle book, my favorite, is the green one. We have green edges. This, I want to say it's Far Away. I can't remember now. And the woman teacher. Can't remember the names now. These again, and the reversible jacket. And lastly, the tall, which is the by far the chunkiest of them all. We have purple underneath and different artworks, and the jacket. This, which I think is also very cool. They smell like printers. Okay, and finally, final update of this is that I have finished Raybearer. Whoop whoop. It came out as 4 stars. I think a higher 4 stars. It's like 4.5. I surprisingly enjoyed the middle bit of this the most, which barely ever happens because that's usually the slumpy parts. But I enjoyed the middle one a lot, like so much that I read into the night, which again, I know I just said about what's the name? Thunderhead, what was it? Thunderbolt. But it really happens so rarely. But it did, and I was super excited about it. And I think the pacing really screwed it up at the end. When we hit like 80% mark, there was also a point where she kind of came back to where I don't want to say too much, a lull, which I think could have been used better to spread out what happened at the end, because there are a lot of things that happened and a lot of almost like a monologue explanations of what's happened to whom and what, like through memory snippets and stuff like that. And it felt quite rushed, and it felt like a bit too many monologues back to back. On top of that, I wasn't too satisfied with the ending because it was one of those that made me apprehensive to pick the second one, which is such a shame because it's a duology. I do still think I will, but when I was reading in the middle of this, I was already planning on which book I should swap so I can read the second one for this readathon. But that urgency, let's say, has since evaporated. It's not calling my name as loudly as it was at the beginning. Basically, like, it's very clear what she has to do later on in the second one, and that just sounds like work. It's like, I like going into sequels knowing that most of my work, knowing the world and everything else, has already been done. Like, the foundation is set, which is my least, you guys will know that the beginnings of the books are my least favorite, and then it just sounds like it's gonna be more work in the second one, which I did actually really enjoy the romance here. I was rooting for them. There's something about the second one that I was also told that makes me a bit less excited because of that aspect. Anyway, it was so promising, so I'm a little bit like sad, but I still overall really enjoyed it. I think the world is so vast and beautiful, and it was really atmospheric. Sometimes it was a bit confusing, but it was mainly just atmospheric. I think the pacing and just overall story choices for me, the bits that hindered my enjoyment. However, again, overall, I really enjoyed it. I like the characters. There were a lot. Side characters were also explored, but not overwhelming amount. And yeah, there were, actual deaths and somewhat consequences, and we're definitely going to deal with more in the next one. Overall, it's a good time. I did enjoy it. I just currently have like a bit of a bitter feeling because again, I just expected it to be amazing from the middle onwards, and it just kind of flopped slightly to me at the end. Yeah, I'm currently reading The Bone Shard Daughter, which is entirely a stupid decision to swap what I probably had like 200 pages of the other book that I had chosen for this, and I swapped it for a book that's over 500 pages. So where's the logic? I don't know. We have our 24-hour readathon section tomorrow, which I'm hoping to maybe start upgrade during. I think it has to finally happen. Or not, we still have another week. But I am also considering swapping another book for the witch comic. It's just a manga, and I probably should just stick with manga, but it definitely would be quicker as well, but also tempting. That's that. I just finished work, so I'm straight out of work, and it's a Friday, so I'm shattered, in other words. The flat's a mess, but I'm currently just focusing on packing the Patreon stuff. But yeah, that is the update. Now consider yourself updated. Well, it is unfortunately 2 o'clock on a Saturday. I woke up with a very like low energy and my head hurts, so I'm trying to solve that. But I have so many things on my to-do list of what I needed to do before our all-nighter kicks off. Excuse my, this is how I slept and still need to put makeup on. And so far I'm literally just starting. We're just starting to clean. I want to stock up on some food so we don't have to worry about that when the 24-hour thing kicks in. We have live stream tonight, so that's the main thing that I'm worried about, but it should be okay. I don't know. I took some painkillers, and if those, I think they have helped. If they don't, I would go into the Triptan land. I found that when the migraine's on the left side, it helps less, and Triptans also make me feel way worse for the first 2 hours, so it's just probably not worth it. So I'm gonna continue reading, which I do have an update for, but I'm gonna listen to more whilst I do my makeup just now, and then get back to you on how it's going. But I have thoughts. One thing at a time. Okay.
The servant to his right nodded and laughed. Please get yourself.
Okay, so reading update, also just like update. 20 to 6, and I'm starting the sprints at 6. My head is so not doing well. If I didn't have the sprints, at this point I would concede and I would take the Triptan. It makes me feel like, it makes me a zombie for the 2 hours after I take it, so I dare not risk it. But anyway, update on reading. As you know, I swapped the small book I had for this monstrosity, which is a choice, but this is the second in a series. The first one is all about this world, and it's kind of a hard world to explain as well. It does have some sci-fi with these like bone shards extracted from the citizens and then made into these constructs that are then like being controlled by the emperor. There's a lot of like twists and turns towards the end of it, which was really satisfying for me last time, but the best part of this is definitely the animal companions. This is the best animal companion book I've read, and the animal companions in this is also like highly the only reason I'm continuing it, because whilst the first one I found just really fun, I'm really struggling to get into this. It's just a lot of action scenes. It's boring for me when it's a bit back to back, and I find it also a little bit too descriptive. Sometimes I feel like it's too detailed, what I kind of need. I will say a lot of the time is like, I'm always a little bit skeptical when I go into a book and it's like that long, because I'm like, what is the reason it's that long? Is it very descriptive? Which I don't love. However, I'm a bit further, I think, a tiny bit further, around 140 page mark. So I'm a little ways in, and I do still have the DNF prompt, so I could possibly do that too, but it would be such a shame. And I don't know what it is, because I should, like, this is the second in the series, so normally like the worst part is over for me, like getting into the world, but this one is quite confusing. I did actually had to go and look up what happened in the first one, like a recap, which I did find out like a really handy website for that, and it did have some like just bullet points of what happened, which did help. Like one of the things is that but I'm living for those parts, so for those parts not quite for those parts alone, I also really like Jovis. I'm gonna continue with it, but I am a bit concerned because I am definitely not extra keen on it. Like I'm not, pull towards it. I'm not like very excited to pick it back up, but anyway, so we'll see how we get on from there. I have 15 minutes. Okay, I should probably go check that I have everything and decide whether or not I take this medicine. Hey, and we are on. As you've seen, we have indeed started, which is very exciting, but I'm going to do quest stuff first and then actually start reading. But it's okay, because I think the last couple of times I did this, I always end up like losing a lot of time on hosting, which obviously is gonna happen this time as well. So because of that, I think I'm just gonna allow myself more hours at the end, just like a couple. So I don't feel too bad about doing stuff that I need to do. At 22, I don't know, I'm showing it like that. 22 hours left, and I am just about to change into Davanthia so we can do the roleplay bit. I have 13 minutes to do so, and also relocate into the other room. I'll give you the update later though, because I don't know how long this will take. Okay.
No, he's gone.
Oh no.
He's not here. It's like off camera when you see like Vecna sitting down like having a fucking sip of like a latte.
Starbucks.
It's like it breaks the immersion. The Slippy's not lost.
Oh. Look at the carnage of yesterday. I don't think that an all-nighter was actually in the cards for me this semester. I was really fighting through a migraine yesterday. It was really bad at the end. It was super bad at the end, not gonna lie. And I struggled to sleep as well, but I definitely couldn't have like continue reading at all. It was one of those that go through your whole side and then like settle in your teeth as well as like the head, and it's just it was bad. And it's still not great today, and I took the Triptan though, so fingers crossed it actually does something. But this week has been a bit rough. It's been a bit rough. I myself had so much fun yesterday. The adventure was super fun. The reading was also fine, but it was like I loved doing the quizzes, and I loved doing actually need to check if we have reached, was it 10,500 we were hoping for books? No, 11,500, which we did. We are at 11,645, so I owe you a quest. I'm gonna post that now. Yeah, we are at, oh no, that is so sad. I'm gonna do another one, I think, maybe at some point, but we are at this remaining. And yesterday I did end up swapping my manga for this, and I read, I think, maybe a bit less than a half. Yeah, a tiny bit less than a half. So far, the first issue, because it's like separated in kind of like sub-volumes, the first one was really bad. But then now we're back to good. But the first one was just really all over the place and rushed and boring. But we're back now to the normal stuff. Which I'm glad. The first one really felt like out of place, but so we have that going for us. And I did get more of this read as well, and I am currently at page 178, so I might continue with this. I don't even know if I'm gonna count this as a 24-hour thing for myself, because nor could I wake up earlier because I couldn't fall asleep properly, so I was trying to basically sleep as much as my body will allow me, which wasn't a lot, but I still had to spend like a lot of time in bed just like trying to snooze. What fun. But yeah, let me just give you the quest, do the fun part, and see if I can save the day. Okay, I have just finished this, which now concludes the qualified for inscription. So I'm gonna be submitting that in a second, which will help us with the goal, and we're currently at 11,712, which is great. We have 7 hours left, a little bit over 7 hours left, and I have a bowl of strawberries and a kavarg. It's basically like a protein yogurty thing, and I'm just gonna have a little bit to eat. We literally have 40 minutes left. 40. So not a lot of the 24-hour thing, but I think we have established that for me, that was just not a thing. It's just not a thing. Maybe I don't know. It's fine. I still have done a lot of reading for it. It's not been bad. I think it's definitely not helping that my current read is also just like on the verge of a DNF. I really enjoyed the first one. It was so fun. I don't know what's happened, but I am 262 pages in this beast. So not even halfway, but close to halfway now. And nothing has happened. The messy parts are so good though, are maybe 90% of the reason why I haven't actually DNF'd this yet. I'm a little bit upset upset and a lot disappointed because I was really anticipating this. Let me know if you've read this and you also felt similarly. It just feels like almost different characters. The main characters are also kind of annoying. I find that things are quite like predictable, but so stretched out. We're getting a lot of like political stuff, but there's not enough intrigue for me to be super involved in that either. It's not bad per se. I don't think that it's terrible, but it's just so blah. Jovis seemed to have like lost his spark, and they're like circling each other in such a boring way. There's no chemistry, although I'm aware of what they're... Okay, I don't want to say because I don't want to like spoil it, I guess, but it's not really a spoiler, but they're circling each other in a way that's like, I understand what they're trying to do, but I'm just not feeling it at all. I'm feeling better. The Triptans have worked and the zombieism has kind of retreated. So before it ends and it comes back, I think I'm gonna go join Logan. He's with some friends by a reservoir, so I'm gonna go. Probably gonna stay only like an hour. I'm gonna get some socializing in, but for the most part is because the trip there is around 40 minutes one way. So first, I enjoy driving. It's therapeutic for me, so it's enjoyable. And I will also put an audiobook on whilst I drive, so it's going to be like an hour, 20 minutes of the audiobook-ish, unless I swap for music or I have to focus on something else. But this is a potential DNF. Normally my DNFs happen a bit earlier, but I'm really trying to give this a go because one of the reviews that I've looked at the reviews. This is how you know it's bad, because I don't normally. But if I look at the reviews, you know that something's amiss, like before I finish a book. Because I don't normally do that. So that's not great. But one of the reviews did say, it was a positive review though, so they probably enjoyed the book from the beginning a bit more. But they said that, oh, the reveal at the end. And we did have a very satisfying couple of reveals in the last one. So this is why I'm kind of like going for. But I don't know. If I'm gonna be listening to the book in the way that I'm listening to it now, I have 4 hours left, which I could still finish today, but I might slow it down for when I'm driving so I can pay better attention to it, which would take it to like close to 5. This is a good angle. The thing is, I literally have 18 minutes, so I will be driving when it ends, so I can't go on socials and say like, it's done. That's fine. I finally finished The Bone Shard Daughter. I say finally, I'm not actually taking that long to read it, but oh my god, did it feel like it. A big book, and you know, it's 560 pages. And for what? Like, there was no reason for it to be that long. And I just ran it through Copile, and let me just tell you, Logic was a 7, that was the highest score. Like, things, like some of the stuff like really just felt misunderstandy for me. I don't love that trope, but like other than that, things like made sense. But it's easy to make sense when nothing is happening. Highest score. And then we had 6 for writing. I thought it was quite repetitive. I just feel like this could have been so much shorter. We were supposed to feel chemistry somewhere, and it was just so flat. Characters were fun, mainly because of the, like, I will still stand my ground saying that this series does animal... Even my camera just decided it's enough. I know I'm being harsh. It's because I had so much love for the first one. I just had such high hopes for this. I was like, oh, you know, the work is done. I am just here for the good time now. But it was just like, no, more work. Generally, there's like 5 things that happen throughout the whole book. Honestly, 5 is maybe even generous because the characters I did care this time about were completely different from the last time, like I was invested more in. But it kind of stings though, because the ones that I cared about the most from the last time just felt completely different. And I just hated the back and forth of the same, like, you knew what's gonna happen at the end, and it really didn't need to have 500 pages to get there. I just feel like the first one was just so much better. The author does Animal Companions the best of any of the books that I've read, which granted is not a lot. I feel like sometimes people do try to do the Animal Companions and it just really is not how it should be, and this is how it should be. Even in this book, the Animal Companion bits were just, I love it. I love it so much. And it's clearly the main reason why I even finished the book. We got fewer and fewer moments at the end, and that's how I felt. Like, my intrigue just went every time I kept reading. So I gave it a 5, but I even think that's maybe a bit too generous. I don't know. Atmosphere was a 4 because it was just the same all the time. It was just the same. I gave 3 for plot for the sheer lack of it. The sheer lack of it. I gave 3 for intrigue because it just kept going down. And I gave 4 for enjoyment. The way that I finished this is actually quite impressive, especially since I could have counted it DNF, so I don't know why I didn't. I do know why. Mephis is the main reason why. But there are more animal companions throughout, so there's gonna be more in the book 3. So I don't even know. I think I'm gonna have to listen first and let other people read this. But I also think a lot of people enjoy the second one, so maybe there's just something wrong with me. I mean, I know there's something wrong with me, but let's not go there. Does finish my conjuration, qualified for conjuration. So we have gotten 2 qualified grades this time. I can't remember if I finished something this week or was it last week? Or is it the 2 books? But if it is the 2 books, that's fine because this one's so big. Came out as a 2-star. Well, 2.5. A high 2-star. Not great. Not great for how much I enjoy the first one. But yeah, the only one that I still need to actually pass the first year of my career is Distinguished in Spells and Incantations for the upgrades. So next week is the week where I attempt my most anticipated book of the whole damn year. Not nervous at all. But that's actually it, but I do have a parcel that arrived and I know it's from my wish list, so I wanted to also thank whoever sent this. Kathleen, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh, you totally didn't have to. But they sent me volume 8 of Rat Queens. I'm a little bit behind, I need to catch up. I think Logan is up to date, so he'll be ecstatic that this has arrived. But thank you so much. Really excited. This is such a fun comic. Maybe I need to like go back into it. For one of the quests, maybe. But thank you so much, Kathleen. And with that, I'm actually gonna bid you goodbye. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me once again, and I will see you in the next time. Bye!